I'm Tiff Stevenson, and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show.
Welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show.
Tiff Stevenson, welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. How are you today?
I'm good. I've just come off stage, so a little bit sweaty. Glowing, in fact, is how I'd describe it. A sheen. I've got a sheen. And you look nice and matte and fresh, whereas I look sweaty. But
This
it's okay.
is my post-watching a show sheen thing that I get.
And your hair looks good as well. It hasn't frizzed up, whereas mine has gone mad.
I've just had it done today and they've like sprayed it and things, so it's sort of semi in a better state than I'd usually keep it.
Do you get a Brazilian blow dry?
No.
Is that what it's called? I don't even know if that's what it's called. What if it's not called that? And I've been going, this Brazilian blow dry, and they're asking me to get my pubes out. That would be bad. But the point is, it looks very straight. I thought there's some kind of keratin.
There was a lot going on there.
Yeah.
And yeah, but it was good. It's very relaxing. It took about 50 hours, so my hair doesn't change colour.
Oh, really?
Not that my hair isn't this colour, which is a weird thing for me to say because it is this colour, which is why it doesn't change colour.
And natural blonde.
Exactly.
I'm not. I'll just say it. I am actually. I'm a natural dark blonde, but I have highlights.
Like this interview.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This interview will have highlights. Like Colin Farrell's hair in Alexander.
It's very true.
That's the only highlight in that film.
And Brad Pitt and Troy.
Brad Pitt and Troy had highlights. He did, yeah. And
filmed in Malta.
Probably one of the only highlights of the film because it wasn't Orlando Bloom. Do you remember that bit where he says, I can feed us, I can hunt and catch rabbits? I watched that, maybe in BAFTA. It was somewhere like BAFTA, and everyone burst out laughing, which I don't think was the intention behind that bit, but there you go.
I've got so many questions about these films. This is all planned.
Yeah, we'll just do a film interview about films.
We could. What's your favourite film?
Oh, this is, you can't. I have so many, and for very different reasons, but ones that really kind of stick with me, I guess. Terminator 2 is one that I still, Judgment Day, that I still love. And because that's the first time I think I saw, Buffy afterwards, but the first time I saw, Ripley in Alien as well, but like one of these kick-ass women who absolutely, Sarah Connell dominates that film, and I loved it for that. That was great to see. However old I was when it came out, I feel like I was about 13 or 12 or something.
Maybe watched it quite recently.
Yeah, I watched it like last week. Yeah. But there's been all these other Terminators, but that still stands up for me. And it's terrifying and brutal, and I love it, And then I obviously love stuff like, I could go through genres, but because everyone goes Godfather versus Goodfellas, and I like Goodfellas because it has Karen in it and it has that female voice. Films like Steel Magnolias, which I absolutely love, and I think that watching that film was the first time I went, our lives matter. Look, here we are at the centre of this film, and it's incredible, and everyone's so funny in it and so great. There's not a dud in there, so I love that.
Which, I don't really like this expression, but what is your guilty pleasure? Because there shouldn't be a guilty pleasure. Let's enjoy what you enjoy, but which film would not be the first one you'd mention if you were talking about film? Like a film for like Grease 2. Do you prefer Grease 1 or 2?
Well, Grease 2 came out at a time that it was kind of more influential for me, so I probably know more of it. And most people would say, Grease 1's better, but I think I probably like Grease 2 better.
Do you know, Grease 2 was the first Grease I saw, so to me that was Grease. And then I saw this other film, I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, don't give a shit.
I know.
Yeah, it's kind of mad, isn't it? Where there's lots of theories, isn't there, about that John Travolta and Sandy, have you heard this theory? And the
one where she's killed,
on the beach, and it's all just a hallucination, and maybe that's why they fly off in the car at the end. Whereas Grease 2 had Michelle Pfeiffer and Maxwell Caulfield and cool riders. I loved Michelle Pfeiffer in that film, but I also liked the Girl for All Seasons, and I like the Reproduction song, and Let's Do It for Our Country.
The red, white and the blue.
Yeah, Our Country Wants Us To. Yeah, see, it hit me at the right time, and that's why we like it more. The other one was kind of more for the generation before.
I didn't really know them.
No. Fuck them.
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah, they're dead to me.
Exactly. Well, if the theory's true, then they might be.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then they all drive off in a car.
In a car at the end. Actually, I'm forgetting Rizzo's in that.
Yes. Very good character.
Yeah, Stockard Channing, and she's amazing in The West Wing, which is also one of my favourite things. lot of favourite things.
It's good to have lots of favourite things, because otherwise you'd only have this one thing. There wouldn't be much of it.
Yeah, true. But I'm one of these people that gets really annoyed when other people start. I don't mind if it's my friends, but when like big groups of people start liking things that I like, because it ruins it for me. Like I've liked Janelle Monáe for years, and now like loads of people, like honestly about 10 years. I want to say 10 years, maybe 8. Maybe let's call it 9. Okay, who am I arguing with? Myself.
Arguing with a 10.
I'm arguing with a 10, a bona fide 10. Yeah, I think it's I see people in Fleetwood Mac t-shirts and they don't really know the band. That's one of my bugbears, where I'm like, oh, you're ruining it. Stop ruining Stevie Nicks for me. I love Stevie Nicks. She's my goddess.
You're very good at singing, by the way.
Oh, thanks. Yes. Did you see a clip of some singing, or was it?
I didn't see a clip. I saw your entire show.
Yes, yeah.
Dreams,
yes, yeah. Dreams is for...
Which I thought was a Cause song, but anyway.
Oh yeah, in the Optimist show. Yes, I do a Stevie Nicks Cartman mashup, don't I? Yeah.
So good. Available on
Next Up
Comedy.
And Madman, my other show's on there as well now. So they have 2 shows, and you can get them on Amazon Prime now.
Love Amazon Prime.
So yeah, so I'm like on Amazon Prime, guys. Wow. Thanks.
Highly recommend it. I read that your dad was the manager of Wembley Stadium, so you're kind of in a showbiz environment from a young age.
Yeah, like, yeah, tiny. I remember being about 7 or 8 and just sort of running around in between dressing rooms, because I would have like this little AAA backstage pass. I'd go into his office and I'd get pencils for drawings, but you know when they're in offices and they order everything in bulk, so I would have like 100 forest green pencils and no other colour, so that was frustrating. But yeah, so I one time before Annie Lennox was about to go on stage, like my dad took me back there, and then I ended up sitting on her lap while she was doing all her makeup, about to go on with the Eurythmics. So I was tiny then. That was like a moment. And then I met John Moss from Culture Club. I was obsessed with Boy George. I liked The Cure. I liked Boy George. I liked Kate Bush. I liked anything that was like out there. But I loved Boy George because I just thought that he was the most beautiful thing that I'd ever seen. I was really into it. And my mum really liked Culture Club as well. So that was nice. And then John Moss gave me a signed album and stuff, which I've since lost because I lose everything because I'm shit. So
you found your phone earlier.
I left my phone. I panicked that I'd left my engagement ring. This is my life. Like I am constantly running late and losing shit. So at some point I'll get it together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I first saw you on the telly in The Office. In a nightclub.
Yes. Yeah. Chaser's nightclub.
Yes.
Yeah.
So did you sort of have any idea at the time that the show would become as popular as it was, and everyone has just done so well from it?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's how I got the job on People Just Do Nothing.
Yeah.
Because they were huge fans of The Office and Ricky Gervais. So when I went in, they were like, oh my God, she's been in The Office. We must put her in our show. Actually, I originally auditioned for a different character. I originally auditioned for Roche, who's played by Ruth Bratt, but I wasn't right for it. And she's so brilliant as that character. And then when they were doing the next series, they got me back in to audition, and they were like, we loved your audition, so we just wanted to get you back in. So that's nice. And I just wrapped on it today, actually, because it's series 5, the last series.
Last series, yes.
Yeah, so...
When will we get to see that, do you know?
I think it's in autumn. Okay. That's as much as I know at the moment, yeah, because we filmed this year much later than we normally do. We normally film in February, March, so we've been in the midst of this heat wave, you know, filming in the salon. The air conditioning's broke.
Brutal.
Sweating, wearing Tanya's leather jacket, just popping about in a leather jacket in 90-degree heat or whatever it was. But so today was quite emotional, because it's been a end of an era and it's been a part of my life, you know. So I'm very, very grateful to them for having me in their show, you know. But you know, all things have to end and new things have to begin, and you know, stuff like Game Face. I know you've interviewed Roisin.
Love Roisin, and yes, because you were in that, and now it's just been recommissioned for series 2.
Yes.
And it's moved from E4 to C4.
Channel 4, yes.
Channel 4.
Where it...
C4's Dynamite.
Yeah. I mean, she's so brilliant. I love Roisin so much. Yes. She's so funny, and the show's so great, and you know, it totally deserves to be there.
it's just brilliant. The character's
Yeah.
really good, and
Well,
it's funny
really
throughout.
funny and it's heartfelt, isn't it? And it has drama in there as well, and I feel like that's so important because it heightens the comedy and makes it all so much better when you can really connect with the characters and feel it, you know.
Absolutely. And do you think you might return for series 2? Do you know that?
I don't know, she's writing at the moment, so we'll see.
Exciting. Very exciting.
Well, we left on a little bit of a kind of not cliffhanger, but you know, there was stuff happening, so I imagine Tanya will be around, but I don't.
There's a lot going on.
There was a lot going on. Yeah, there was an intervention. I don't, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it.
You should have seen it by now. It's a very good show.
Yeah, you should
What are you doing?
just seen it. A bird shit on my face. That was a point where I was like, did I piss you off, Roche? Because I've got a bird shitting on me. Like, oh no, falling over and I've got a bird shitting on me. But it was lovely because it was such a reversal of that kind of trope, and you know, the person who you normally feel bad for and should be vulnerable in that situation is, and it kind of throws all of that up, and it's done so amazingly because she's amazing. So, and I'm always really happy when I see other women who do stand up doing like being like Catherine and stuff, you know, and Sarah, because it's very exciting. It's such a strong time for loads of brilliant women at the moment, so it's exciting to watch that. Everyone doing their different projects, you know, and I had someone filming for a documentary tonight with my show, so you know, I'm really pleased to kind of see that, because I feel like it's taken longer for all of the women for that to happen, which is frustrating, but in many ways just means the women who are about now are brilliant, because we have to be undeniable. So
So I've got a very important question for you. If you could have a dinner party with any three people, alive or dead, would you put pineapple on the pizza?
Brilliant. I would. I like a ham and pineapple pizza.
Thank you.
I'm not afraid of it, and I would share that pizza with Stevie Nicks and Maya Angelou, definitely. Definitely those two. Maybe more. Maybe Tina Turner. I love Tina as well. Oh, it's hard to know, isn't it? There's too many. Because I go, I could just have 3 dinner guests that were just in music. I could get 3 writers that I really enjoy. You know, you can mix it up.
I think the first thing I'd want to specify, if I could have any 3 people living or dead, would be 3 living people. Yeah. Because it just make it awkward otherwise.
That's true.
Although more pizza for you.
Yeah, more pizza for me, but I mean, what's pineapple? Pineapple kind of loses its edge when you're surrounded by corpses. I do agree with you on that. Yeah.
Pineapples have got a lot of edges too.
Yeah, well, you don't want to get that. What's that tangy bit? The enzyme, the bit that scratches your tongue.
Hurts your face. Yeah. Where's that?
I don't know. Is it nature's way of saying fuck off, leave the pineapples alone? They're not for you. Probably. I don't
Makes me want them more. They're like an abusive relationship, aren't they?
Yeah. Forbidden fruit. They're literally forbidden fruit.
They are. It's very true.
Unlike, there are some fruits that look amazing and they taste real shitty. Is it a star fruit or a Sharon fruit? I can't remember.
I've had Sharon fruit, yeah.
Shazza fruit.
Shazza fruit.
Yeah, it doesn't really taste of anything. It's like not even as good as apple. No. Yeah, it's a shame.
It's a shame, actually.
Yeah.
Bring
back bland fruits
with
exciting shapes.
I once I went into a supermarket and I thought I'd try. I got dragon fruit and Sharon fruit and all these things, and I thought I'd make like this really exotic smoothie, and so I blended them all together. They just tasted like banana and kiwi fruit. Oh, because it overpowered the rest
everything
of the
else, right. Kiwis are good. I always forget about kiwis. They need someone to get on their PR.
Slightly hairy.
Because they don't look good from the outside. I feel like they need a PR job. And then when you get inside, like, you know, you shouldn't dismiss something because it's slightly hairy. Yeah. We're all slightly hairy. I'm slightly hairy. You know, inside, it's juicy and gorgeous. Outside, it's a bit khaki, isn't it?
It stops people from trying to eat you.
Yeah, I suppose there's that. Yeah. But they're really good for you. That's got weird enzymes in the skin as well, like the pineapple. So it's
knackered up my smoothies, what it did.
It's basically telling us to fuck off as well.
I should have peeled it.
Banana's good. Banana's alright, isn't it? Yeah, I like banana and peanut butter.
Oh. What, just by themselves?
On toast. Yeah, it's something my fiance makes, and it's like a little... Sometimes it's really bad because he'll make it and then he'll just like pour honey over the top as well. And then we'll just be absolute biffers, just smashing like... toast with peanut butter and banana in bed.
Sounds amazing. I didn't know this has turned into like MasterChef.
Yeah.
People are writing this down furiously.
Do you want some more?
Yeah.
Pretzel thins, which are these little round pretzels, and they're like salted, and then Nutella, and you spread some in the middle and you put another one. You make like a little Nutella pretzel sandwich. That is the shit. That's one of my finest creations. You're welcome, internet.
This has given me a lot to think about.
Yeah. Oh, strawberries with pepper. You know, cracked pepper on it.
Oh no, strawberry.
Strawberry, yeah. Yeah, really good. Peppercorns, sometimes with like a little bit of sweet whipping cream, and it kind of offsets it. If you have it flambéed, sometimes they do it with that.
Flambé a strawberry with peppercorn.
With peppercorn, yeah. Like people know. They'll know. The people know.
They don't do any of this at McDonald's. I've been missing out. Like I normally just go like number 5, whatever that is.
Another one, dates wrapped in bacon.
I didn't know you're into that. Are we still on food? Or
Still like my dates wrapped up.
like a Lady Gaga thing?
Yeah. But that's nice because the sweetness is offset by the saltiness. So, yeah.
That makes sense.
It's the crew removing the crew.
Hi.
That's my fiance actually laughing at me because I'm doing recipes of dates wrapped in bacon. We were on strawberries and cracked black pepper.
Doing an anthology of things that have never been talked about on a cooking show.
Is Tanya out there? Have you seen Tanya? She's here. Okay, all right. That's all right. Just
That's some of your characters, isn't it?
I play Tanya's. There's something about me that says Tanya. That's Tanya Edwards. She's also a comic you may have seen or heard of.
Yeah,
She's
of course.
great. Yeah. Should get her on the show.
I should. Absolutely should.
She's doing a new Edinburgh show this year called Not My Dog, and the poster is great.
It's really good.
Yeah. It looks like one of those Sweet Valley High novels.
I'm going to try and make it appear here somewhere right now.
Yeah. I used to steal those books when I was 14 from W.H. Smith because I wasn't a cool enough teenager to actually steal shit that people were interested in. I just had a thirst for knowledge.
That's a good
and a
idea.
low budget.
It's fair enough.
Oh my God, that sounds like a film pitch. She had a thirst for knowledge and a low budget.
There's so many creative ideas coming out of this.
We'd split it 50-50, anything that comes up. Cool.
I think we should. Absolutely. So if you, I've got another important question for you. If you were going to a desert island and could only bring one thing with you, would you consider getting like a bigger suitcase?
Yeah, I would. I overpack. If you could, you can't see in the room here, but there's a rail with about 7 choices of outfits for tonight and 5 or 6 different pairs of shoes.
True, I can confirm this.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely get a bigger suitcase. I always bring too much because I think it's better to overpack than underpack.
Yeah.
You don't want to be that girl that turns up to a formal with just a bikini in your case. You don't want to be that girl.
It's very true.
I mean, imagine, though, if I was just travelling with a bikini, I would be going somewhere exotic. I've never travelled with just a bikini.
You're not.
The older you get, the more shit you get in your bag and you have to bring everywhere. Like, I used to be able to leave the house with just like, I got some money in my pocket before phones. I've got a pager. Hey guys, I'm young, free and easy. And now it's like a bag, and I've got a nasal spray for my hay fever, and I've got makeup wipes in case I want to take those off, and I've got some hairspray, and I've got plasters for my corns on my feet, and it's all bloody, and a wipe in case I get under boob sweat after it. I mean, it's gross. Anyway.
Yeah, so you're going somewhere for 2 hours, but it's like you're packing for a week just in case.
Yeah, just in case.
But you have to.
Yeah, because you never know what you're going to need.
You really don't.
Yeah.
It's very true. So can you tell me a bit about do you have like a pre-show ritual before you go on stage? And I don't mean like sacrificing a goat or something.
Yeah, I have a little bit of a panic and a flap because earlier on I thought I'd lost my engagement ring, and then I couldn't find my phone. And then I flibbity gibbet and I put my earrings in and I top up my makeup.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll write a little set list out, which I never look at, but I like to have it written just so I know, fix the show in my head, and basically make the place a complete tip and then run on stage, which sort of like takes you away from having any nerves or thinking about anything, I suppose. By being completely unprepared, you end up being more prepared. And that is my official tip.
It's a very good tip. So do you, when you're coming up with jokes or being creative, do you sort of sit at a computer or do you carry around a notebook? What do you do? What's your process?
Oh, I mainly write in my phone notes. So there's a person in the show I talk about called Herb,
Yes.
who's from who's on the High Line in New York doing a tour guiding thing, and unofficial very much by the seams of it. So I saw him and I heard the voice, and as soon as I heard him say tragedy, I put it in my phone, and I was with my partner then, and my friend who I stay with in New York, and they both looked at me and I'm caught, like, because we all heard it. I was like, that is, I'll end up writing about that. And it took me ages to work out what he actually represented, why I was obsessed with him, what it meant. But I couldn't believe that someone would see the world in such binary terms as like, this is where this awful thing happened, and that was then, now we're moving on. Here's where something else awful happened, and here's what, like that he could not have any emotional feeling, or he was numb to it, that he would just see it as a thing that happened, and then the thing happened. And so he ended up becoming a hook off which a few bits of the show kind of build around. So sometimes it's just things that I see in my daily life. I can also often have 5 or 6 different notebooks on the go that I'm scribbling in. Sometimes it'd be an argument or a conversation I've had with someone, like actually I find the word poor really offensive, which is a bit in the show, which is a real thing that happened. And then I kind of pull apart that and talk about how I feel. So inspiration can strike at any time. The main time that I sit down with my computer and actually write like that is more like if I have a topical show, like a Mock the Week or something like that, and I've got to sit down and go through the news and go, okay, collate some funny thoughts on this. But even then, I write so much that often in my phone, if I just look up a word like, Philip Davis or upskirting or, I'm going to have something in the phone on that. So I tend to do that more if I'm doing scripts and stuff like that.
So you have to be sort of constantly open to the world and observing it more than...
Yeah, it's just how I see the world. I kind of see things, I find it funny. I once had a routine on baby chinos after observing some very Muswell Hill mummies talking about baby chinos, and then I end up writing 10 minutes on it because these women were ghastly. And I felt quite sorry for the children. But I think they didn't realise that they were ghastly, but it would all be fine because the kids had baby chinos. So, so it sort of comes out of, it sort of comes out of just seeing it. And these things, I get passionate about things or I get angry about things. And sometimes, my fiance will be like, oh, God, calm down. You're getting so high. It's so big. Like, just... And I was like, but this is what fuels me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
which brings me on to your brand new show.
Yes.
Bombshell. First of all, why is it called Bombshell?
Originally, I felt like it was sort of because there were threats of bombs happening. Actually, I did it before Trump sort of threatened the mother of all bombs, actually. And I wanted to talk about the idea of... Originally, in the show, when I first came up with it, I wanted to talk about my sort of blondness, having big boobs. I had this whole routine in the show about having big boobs and how they define who you are all the time without you saying anything, and the assumption that just having big boobs is a positive thing when actually can be quite negative and exhausting. And a lot of people go, oh no, that's a great thing, and you go, no, it just kind of means you're constantly sexualized whether you want to be or not. And actually, if I go for a run, I get athlete's foot tit which is where you get like you get your feet between here, so I'm constantly in the summer going, oh God, is it, it's... So I had this kind of routine about that and how I look, and also because I'd recently turned 40, I was like, how long is this going to be, there's that kind of thing of being objectified, I guess, that I had, So I wanted to kind of talk about all of those things, and I also wanted to explore the relationship between men and women. So that was originally where it started, and then the Trump stuff kind of coming as well, and I was like, actually, it's going to be about possible apocalypse. It's going to be about the end of the world. It's going to be will the end of the world be just the left and the right fighting with each other? Is that how it's going to come about? And it sort of evolved from there, really. And I had the idea that I wanted that as the poster. I wanted to be riding away on a rocket.
I love that poster, by the way. It's really good. I love it.
Thank
So
you.
I've obviously just seen the show tonight. It was very funny, but it was also thought-provoking and powerful and emotional in places, and I didn't expect that. You know, you go, just think I'm just going to laugh, but it was so much more than that. It was amazing. It was so good.
Thank you. Thanks. I love that, because that's what I want people to get out of it. I know I can make people laugh.
Yeah.
I've known I've been able to do that for years. Then the next step is, can we bring other things into it? Can it challenge? Can it provoke? Can it spark a fire? Can it rile people up? Can we have these poignant moments, which, you know, not really playing the poignancy, because it's not that kind of crowbarred, but it is talking about stuff that is important and means something, and to be able to discuss that, because you know, stuff like Grenfell, or you know, reproductive rights, you know, all of that sort of stuff, with the vote having happened and that bit being in the show when I was, you know, in Soho Theatre doing the run, the vote was happening in Ireland, and you know, I felt, because it felt very personal to me, I felt sick and nauseous about the idea of it, you know, not going the right way, and it did. So, you know, then that material goes in the bin, but I'm happy for it too, you know.
That's incredible, isn't it? Like you were doing that for so long. Now you have to pick something else. It clearly works.
Yeah, exactly. But isn't that a great thing if you can shine a light on it for a little while?
Yeah.
And I had a routine about equal marriage in Australia. It was a similar thing happened. I think I ended up recording a set for it at Montreal at the Just for Laughs festival, and it actually went out, you know, maybe like 2 months before, and I was like, please make this routine like, what's the word? Not invalid, but like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Not relevant. Yes. I don't want to say not relevant about my material, but yeah, it was, you know, it was nice to be able to go, there we go. You know, finally. But actually, what you still find is there's another place that my friend who's here tonight from Australia was like, actually my friend from New Zealand and my friend from Australia, but she was like, women in Tasmania can't get access to abortions, they're having to travel. So, you know, there's always other places that work still needs doing, so you can, you know, just talk about it in a slightly different way.
So where will the show be going next? You going to Ed Fringe?
No Edinburgh Fringe this year.
No Fringe?
We're now in June, and the idea of writing another show in June to go in August terrifies me. I'm sort of working on other things, so I've got a little pilot happening for a show, plus I'm doing some...
Did they fly overhead earlier?
Yeah, that was the pilot in the helicopter. So yeah, I've got a few things going like that, and so a few things that I need to put some time and energy into, and Edinburgh takes a lot of that time and energy, and I love it. So do go and see shows if you're going up. I mean, definitely go and see, like, who's going that I love this year? Tanya's going, I mentioned earlier on. Alice Fraser, her show will be great as well. Nish has got a show going this year, which I'm sure will be amazing, because he didn't go last year. Lots of great people going up, you know. Eleanor Tiernan, I love Eleanor as well. Yeah. Bethany Black will have a show on that'll be great as well. Who else? Laura Davis, she's good. Yeah. Loads of great people.
Lots to see and do.
Yeah, yeah.
And
mainly women, I've said, like one guy, but whatevs. I'll let one in.
It's fair, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just the one.
Just one.
Yeah. So, finally, have you got any messages for people watching the Sarah O'Connell Show and your fans around the universe?
Hi. Thanks for still coming to the shows. Yeah. And thanks for watching the Sarah O'Connell Show. Support the show. Tell everyone about it. Sign up, subscribe to YouTube, and come and find out about me on my Twitter at Tiff Stevenson, or my Instagram, which I still haven't figured out, but I will eventually. And yeah, look forward to seeing you at the next show.
So, Tiff Stevenson, thank you so much for coming on my show today and for inviting me to yours earlier. It was incredibly funny, and I recommend everybody to go and see it and to watch all your previous stuff too, and all your future content.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
So thank you for everybody watching at home. Be sure to share, subscribe, give the video a big thumbs up, and I'll see you all again soon for another episode of the Sarah O'Connell Show. Bye. It's amazing.
So welcome. So welcome.